but he had a business partner, Anurag Sharma. I might be saying his name wrong, but what was
Anurag, yeah.
Anurag? What did he say, and what did he think about? I mean, is he also a Christian support? What was this business partner in your article? It just says business partner.
Yeah, so Sharma was also from India, lived in the US, and sort of came into contact with Zacharias and loved him. And he's also someone who's listened to like lots and lots of self-help tapes. And when he found Zacharias, he just thought this guy's the best. And he loved everything about him. He listened to him every day and ended up becoming friends with him. And I think that Indian connection helped. Like they had him over for dinner and stuff. And Sharma told me, for instance, like, oh, I would text him all the time. I loved him so much. He was the smartest person around, and I just loved to be around him. He'd even like volunteer to drive him to the airport and stuff just to get time to be around him. So when Zacharias, from what I can tell, when Zacharias was like, I want to start a spa, he was someone who could help put up the money.
I see. But he
And
so
he told me, he's like, I don't know anything about spas, but here's $50,000. Like, I'll help. He said I was on cloud nine. I just wanted to be around him and I would do anything.
Wow.
Which there's two elements there that I think are really worth calling attention to. One is that Zacharias seems like he really curried those types of relationships. The people around him, from everything I can tell, were not people who could call him on stuff. We're not people who would say, hey, everybody else thinks you're the best ever, but like I know the real you, or one of those types of, that kind of friend who's like, other people think you're a genius, but I also know you're stupid.
right, right.
He tended to curry those types of relationships.
Because that way he could just remain hidden.
Would it?
Even
Go ahead.
And maybe he was just always manipulative. He's manipulating men for that kind of support and protection. He's manipulating women for sex, but it's the same in some ways. It's the same treating people
yeah.
the same way in both cases.
And so, like the whole organization, his family, wife, business partner, all of them are kind of claiming they didn't know much. They're saying they didn't know he was doing these things.
The business partner found out at some point and has apologized to as many people as he's been able to find, and has said things like, "I don't know why I didn't stop it sooner." It's a little hard to tell exactly what he knew when, but he feels a lot of responsibility and feels like he should have known. But no, the ministry, everyone's saying they didn't know. Everyone's saying they had no reason to suspect, and
No reason
and
at all to suspect.
Yeah.
and the external investigation, the independent investigation, says specifically, we did not find any evidence that anyone knew. Like there's no I don't have any evidence that anyone was in on it, that anyone else went along with it, or even like heard about it, decided not to look. I mean, I do think that there is a point where not knowing is its own kind of indictment. It's one thing to say, oh, I knew and I hid it. That's clearly a wrong and evil. But I never knew, but should you have known? There's a
Right.
lot. Sometimes it's your job to know.
There's a statistic
Yeah.
there that would be interesting to have, and it's how many times do boards do investigations that come back with nothing to see here versus that's not. I mean, it'd probably be a staggering amount of because when there's an investigation, you'd think a certain amount of that percentage would be stuff to find, but I bet it's skewed because that's in the pattern of many scandals that come out. They always do an investigation where they hire an investigator that is like independent or whatever, but it often will come back clean.